So I thought I'd do a follow-up video looking in more detail at some of the tools we use. This is a Stihl HSA 56 domestic hedge cutter, battery hedge cutter. We got a couple of weeks ago. It comes in a set with this AK10 battery and an AL101 charger, which all told it costs about £180 from your Stihl dealership. It's a 36 volt, and with this AK10 battery will run for about, they say 40 minutes, but we've had an hour and 20, maybe even 2 hours, depending on what you're doing, because when you're using a hedge cutter, you're not always using it, but so it lasts really well considering this is the smallest battery. All told, with the battery, it comes in at 3.8 kilos. It has a 45 centimeter single bladed blade, and it takes about 2 hours to charge this, a little bit less depending obviously how flat it is. And it comes with this sheath as well. So just a quick some negatives to it, and then some positives. It's got a double safety trigger, which most people would probably think is good. I personally don't like it, because when I'm using the hedge cutter, I like to have a light grip on the front of the handle, and the fact that this has got the spring means you have to grip it not particularly hard, but it's enough to cause finger fatigue for me when I'm using it, which, even using a heavier machine, you just don't get with the petrol ones. So that's can be an issue. The fact that it doesn't have the swivel handle, again, is an issue, but it is a domestic machine, and the more professional ones do have the swivel handle, so yeah. And again, the 45 centimeter blade, most normal hedge cutters have a 60 centimeter blade, and the professional ones will come with a twin blade system, which does give a better finish, but it is only a domestic one. So in terms of positives, they certainly outweigh the negatives. With the battery, it's 3.8 kilos, which again it's nice and light. The more professional models, they come in at sort of 4.4 or 4.5 or even 5 kilos with the bigger batteries, which frankly is just too heavy. You might as well have a petrol one, which will last longer, and so it's much easier just to have the petrol ones, but this one is light enough to make sense. The biggest thing with the electric one is starting and stopping the thing. You can lock this trigger to make it safe, do that, press that, engage that at the same time, and away you go. You're just hedge cutting, no faffing around with pull starts, no priming it. That's the biggest thing, and to be honest, I just love it. It's so simple to do, and if there were bigger professional hedge cutters that were light enough and good enough, in my opinion, I would be using them all the time, but I don't think there are at this moment in time. Equally, it gives, despite the single blade, it gives a really good finish. We tend to use it on light topiary, light hedging, that sort of thing. It's really sharp out of the box and does a really good job of finishing. So that's really nice. And equally, I like the clean line of this as well. Some of the hedge cutters I use, these bits stick out beyond here, which tends to mean you can snag them when you're hedge cutting, whereas this has got a nice flat line. It makes it easy to get a flat line because you've got everything's in the same plane, and so it works really nicely for that. So all in all, it's a really nice machine for relatively cheap price, and the fact that it comes with the battery and the charger, which a lot of them, well, none of them do, means that it's ready to go and it works really well. You know, you can get a lot of runtime out there. Even the small battery doesn't take too much time to charge, and I would highly recommend it as a second hedge cutter for small jobs where you just need to get out a hedge cutter, no fuss. You know, jobs are good. Alright, bye for now.